Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be diving into AI image generation. And you know how to personalize and blend different artistic styles in those AI images. And speaking of that, you actually sent over a research paper on LoRACLR. And just the title alone, Contrastive Adaptation for Customization of Diffusion Models, sounds really complex. But I think we can break it down together. And to help us do just that, we have our expert here with us today. They're going to be walking us through how LoRACLR works and why it's causing such a buzz. I have to admit, I was looking at this paper and I was immediately drawn to figure one. It shows celebrities like Margot Robbie, Messi, LeBron James, and it's placing them realistically into all these different scenes like spaceships, labs, even crime scene investigations, and it says that's all generated by LoRACLR. So
Diffusion models, those are like the engines behind all these AI art generators, right?
you got, yeah, they're the backbone of popular AI art generators like Stable Diffusion, Imagen, DALE 2. Incredibly powerful, but they can be a bit of a black box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet everybody wants to make those models their own right, add their own characters, their style, their unique ideas.
Exactly.
So LoRA, or low-rank adaptation, that's how we do it.
That's right. LoRA is a really clever way to customize those massive models without retraining them from scratch. It's like a small but powerful add-on that keeps things efficient and storage-friendly too.
So LoRA lets me add my stuff, which is awesome, but what if I want to combine different customized things? Like, let's say I want to blend a friend's character design with a style inspired by, like, a vintage comic book.
That is the challenge that LoRACLR addresses. You see, previous methods for combining LoRAs, they had some serious limitations. They struggled with image quality. They would become unstable when you added in more concepts, and sometimes they even required very specific types of LoRAs.
And the paper actually mentions some of those limitations, right? Like mix of show needing 80 LoRAs and OMG relying on like really accurate segmentation. It's all a bit of a puzzle.
It is, and LoRACLR solves this puzzle in a really interesting way. So instead of retraining the whole model, it really focuses on merging existing LoRAs. And it does this by aligning what are called their weight spaces, and it uses something called a contrastive objective. So think of it as like finding a common language for all those different creative concepts.
Okay, so hold on. Weight spaces and contrastive objective. I'm going to be honest with you, those sound a little intimidating. Can you break that down a bit further? Like, imagine you're explaining this to somebody who's just starting to learn about AI image generation.
Sure. So imagine each artistic concept is like a point on this vast map of possibilities. And this weight space is kind of like a visual representation of how the AI understands each concept. So what LoRACLR does is it helps align these points so that the concepts can be combined without clashing.
So LoRACLR is kind of like a map maker, helping all these different concepts find their place in this world of AI image generation.
That is a great way to put it. Now, to understand the contrastive objective, think about magnets. Each magnet represents a different artistic concept, a character, a style, an object. And LoRACLR acts like a force that makes similar magnets attract each other, and dissimilar magnets repel.
This is really making me rethink how we define creativity. It's almost like a new language of art.
It is a new language of art. And, this attraction and repulsion, that's key because it prevents the AI from getting confused. It's like teaching the model to separate the ingredients of a recipe so the flavors stay distinct, but they still work together in the final dish.
Ah, so each concept retains its own unique flavor, but they harmonize in the final image.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. But what is this contrastive approach? Like, wouldn't it limit the ways concepts can blend? Like, is there a risk of things becoming too separated?
That's a really great question. It's all about finding that right balance. So mathematically, there's a contrastive loss function that encourages these attractions and repulsions during training. And this process results in a unified model that understands all the concepts that it's been given.
Okay, that sounds cool in theory, but in practice, does it actually work? Like, does it do what it says it's going to do?
Well, looking at the paper, figure 3 really caught my eye. It shows LoRACLR handling multiple concepts seamlessly, and you can see the complexity increase from like 2 to 6 celebrities, all accurately depicted in these different scenarios. We're talking an operating room, a bustling kitchen, a grand library, all generated with incredible detail.
And what's important is that LoRACLR consistently outperforms other methods, like orthogonal adaptation, mix of show, and prompt plus stemma. Figure 4 shows where these other methods fall short. Sometimes features get mixed up, like hair from one person ends up on another, or the identities of subjects become blurry, especially with more concepts. There's even one where Messi's face is completely lost in the 6 concept scene generated by another technique. Wow, so LoRACLR is not only merging these concepts, it's doing it better than other approaches. But wait, there's more. Right. I remember seeing Figure 6, and it shows how you can bring in style LoRa's too. Think comic book style, oil painting vibes, all seamlessly integrated to make the final images even more unique. And we've seen some pretty impressive visuals so far. But do the numbers back this up?
They absolutely do. The paper uses some really clever metrics to assess performance. So text alignment measures how well the generated image matches the prompt that you give it. Image alignment looks at the similarity to reference images. And then you have identity alignment, and that checks how well a person's face is preserved.
So identity alignment, that's basically measuring how well LoRACLR keeps a person's face looking like them in the
Yeah.
final image, even when it's combined with other styles.
Exactly. And looking at Table 1, LoRACLR delivers really strong performance across the board, especially in image and identity alignment, even when more concepts are added. There is even a user study in Table 2 that confirms LoRACLR is superior at preserving identities.
That's pretty remarkable. And just look at Figure 5 LoRACLR keeps its performance edge, even when merging 12 concepts. That's a lot of creative power in one model. And, before we move on, I want to point out that LoRACLR isn't limited to just people. If we look at Figure 7, we can see that it can generate images with animals, objects, even monuments. It can capture such diverse textures and seamlessly blend concepts like pyramids, rocks, furniture. Talk about versatility.
You're absolutely right. LoRACLR has opened up a whole new world of possibilities, but it's important to acknowledge that it's not a perfect solution. It's still dependent on the quality of the initial LoRACLR models that you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
That makes sense. So it sounds like LoRACLR is a powerful tool, but it still relies on the artist's input and the quality of those initial models.
Exactly. It's a partnership between human creativity and AI ingenuity.
So we've established that LoRACLR is this amazing tool for merging different artistic visions. But I'm curious, how would someone actually use this in practice?
Okay, well, let's go back to the idea that you mentioned earlier about blending your friend's character design with a vintage comic book style. Imagine your friend creates this amazing, quirky superhero, and with LoRACLR, you could take their character and seamlessly place them into a scene straight out of a classic comic book.
Yeah, with those bold colors, dynamic lines, that iconic comic book lettering, it'd be like bringing their creation to life in a whole new dimension.
Exactly. And the applications go beyond just like static images. Think about game developers. They could use LoRACLR to create unique characters and environments by blending different styles and concepts. Imagine a game where the world seamlessly transitions between photorealism and a stylized, painterly look.
Oh, okay, now you're talking. It would be like stepping into a living, breathing work of art. The possibilities for storytelling and world building would be incredible.
Absolutely. And what's really exciting is that LoRACLR democratizes this creative power. You don't need to be a coding wizard or an AI expert to tap into its potential. Imagine online communities of artists sharing and collaborating on LoRa models, creating this vast library of styles and concepts that anyone can use.
That's the beauty of open source technology.
Yeah.
It breaks down those barriers and it empowers anyone to become a creator. We could see a whole new wave of digital art and innovation emerging.
Absolutely. LoRACLR is a catalyst for creativity. It's like giving everyone a set of powerful artistic tools and then stepping back to see what amazing things they can come up with.
This is all incredibly inspiring, but I think it's also important to acknowledge that any new technology comes with its own set of challenges. So what are some of the potential hurdles or limitations that you foresee with LoRACLR?
You bring up a valid point. While LoRACLR offers incredible potential, we need to be aware of its limitations. One key aspect is its dependence on the quality of the initial LoRa models. If the input models are flawed or poorly trained, the output will reflect those limitations.
So it's still crucial for artists to create those high-quality LoRACLR to work its magic.
Exactly. The quality of the input is paramount. Another challenge lies in fine-tuning the parameters and settings of LoRaCL to achieve the desired outcome. It requires a certain level of experimentation and, understanding of the underlying concepts to really get the most out of the tool.
So there is a learning curve involved, but it seems like the results would be worth the effort. I imagine this technology will continue to evolve and make it even more user-friendly and accessible over time.
I agree. As AI research progresses, we can expect more intuitive interfaces and streamlined workflows, making LoRaCL easier to use for a wider range of creators.
That's exciting to hear. But let's shift gears a bit. We've been focusing on the technical aspects and the practical applications, but I'd love to explore the broader implications of LoRaCL. What does this technology mean for the future of art and creativity?
The big picture. LoRACLR is more than just a tool. It's a catalyst for a fundamental shift in how we create and perceive art. It blurs the lines between human and machine. challenging our traditional notions of authorship and originality.
It's almost like a new era of art is dawning, where human imagination and AI ingenuity are intertwined. Does this mean that we're headed towards a future where AI takes over the creative process entirely?
I don't think it's about replacement. I think it's about collaboration. Imagine artists working alongside AI as partners, each contributing their unique strengths. The artist brings their vision, their emotions, their intentions, while AI expands those possibilities, explores variations, pushes the boundaries of expression.
That's a beautiful way to look at it, a harmonious partnership between human and machine, amplifying each other's creative potential. But this collaboration also raises some intriguing questions, doesn't it? Like, how do we navigate the complexities of ownership and copyright in a world where AI plays such a significant role in the creative process?
You've hit upon a crucial point. The concept of authorship becomes a lot more nuanced when AI is involved. We need to rethink our traditional legal frameworks and explore new models that acknowledge the collaborative nature of AI-assisted creation.
It's like we're venturing into uncharted territory, rewriting the rules of the game as we go. It's both exciting and daunting, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a time of immense creative potential, but it requires careful consideration, open dialogue, and a willingness to adapt our understanding of art and its creation.
We need to approach this new era with a sense of curiosity, responsibility, and a commitment to fostering a thriving and inclusive creative ecosystem where both human and AI can flourish.
I couldn't agree more. It's about finding the right balance, embracing the possibilities while addressing the challenges, and ensuring that technology serves as a tool for empowerment and artistic exploration.
Well said. It seems like we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into LoRACLR. From the technical intricacies to the broader implications, it's been quite a journey.
It has indeed. It's fascinating to witness the evolution of AI and its impact on the world of art. Who knows what other groundbreaking innovations await us in the years to come?
That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? The future of creativity is wide open, full of possibilities waiting to be discovered. And I think it's safe to say that LoRACLR is just the beginning of a remarkable journey into the uncharted territories of AI-powered art.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's an exciting time to be a creator, and I'm eager to see what amazing things people will create with these powerful new tools.
And we're back for the final part of our LoRACLR deep dive. We've got some incredible examples from you all about how artists and creators are already using this
Oh, yeah.
in really innovative ways. So let's explore some of these real-world applications.
I'm excited to share these examples. It's really inspiring to see how people are harnessing the power of LoRACLR to, really push the boundaries of creativity.
You mentioned earlier that online communities are playing a pretty big role in this movement. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. Platforms like Civitai have become hubs for sharing these LoRa models. It's fostering a really collaborative spirit among artists and developers. It's like a virtual marketplace of creative ingredients where you can find LoRa's for everything from character designs to architectural styles, even artistic movements.
Oh, wow. So instead of starting from scratch, artists can draw inspiration from this vast library of LoRa's, mix and match them, and create something entirely new.
That's the beauty of it. It really accelerates the creative process, allowing artists to focus on their unique vision while also leveraging, the collective knowledge and skills in the community.
Sounds like LoRa is not just a tool, but a catalyst for a new era of collaborative art making.
I think you're right on. It's fostering a sense of shared ownership and collective creativity, blurring the lines between, individual and collective authorship. We're seeing the emergence of these hybrid art forms that couldn't have existed without this kind of collaboration.
That's really cool. So can you give us some specific examples of how artists are using LoRACLR in their work?
Of course. There's this artist who goes by the name Cybernetic Canvas, who's doing some really amazing things with LoRACLR. They specialize in creating these surreal, dreamlike landscapes by blending different styles and textures. So they might combine a LoRA for a photorealistic forest with another for an abstract painterly sky. And the result is these just breathtaking images that defy categorization.
Wow, I can picture those visuals in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like stepping into a world where reality and imagination collide.
Exactly. And there's another artist, they go by Pixel Alchemist, who uses LoRACLR to create these intricate character portraits. And they'll combine LoRACLRs for different facial features, hairstyles, clothing styles to generate these unique and really expressive characters. It's like having a digital character creation studio right at your fingertips.
That's incredible. So it sounds like LoRACLR is empowering artists to explore uncharted creative territories, experimenting with styles and techniques that would have been far more challenging without this technology.
Absolutely. And the applications extend beyond the realm of visual art. We're also seeing game developers using LoRaCLR to create immersive and dynamic worlds, blending realistic environments with stylized characters and creatures. Imagine a game where you can seamlessly transition between different artistic styles as you're exploring the world.
That would be amazing. It really opens up so many possibilities for storytelling and world building. It's like giving players the power to choose their own visual experience.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're only scratching the surface of what LoRaCLR can achieve. And as the technology evolves and more artists kind of embrace its potential, I think we can expect even more groundbreaking and mind-blowing creations to emerge.
It's really exciting to see this creative explosion fueled by AI. But I'm also curious about the impact LoRaCLR is having on the art market. How is this technology affecting the way we value and collect art?
That's a fascinating question. You know, the art market is going through a significant transformation as AI-generated art gains recognition and acceptance. Platforms like Super Rare and Foundation are showcasing and selling AI-generated artwork. And they're attracting collectors who appreciate the novelty and unique aesthetics of this new art form.
So AI-generated art is finding its place alongside more traditional art forms. It's challenging our preconceived notions of what even constitutes art and, who can be an artist.
Exactly. It's a democratizing force. It's opening up the art world to creators who may not have had access to traditional galleries or institutions before, and it's sparking important conversations about the nature of creativity,
Yeah.
the role of technology in art, and really the evolving relationship between humans and machines.
It's clear that LoRaCLR is more than just a technical innovation. It's a cultural phenomenon, reshaping the landscape of art and creativity, blurring boundaries and challenging our assumptions.
I agree. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and technological advancement to really push the boundaries of what's possible, creating new forms of expression and opening up new avenues for artistic exploration.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into LoRaCLR, what final thoughts would you like to leave our listener with?
I would just encourage everyone to embrace this exciting new era of AI-powered creativity. With a sense of wonder and curiosity, explore the possibilities of LoRaCLR, experiment with different LoRaCal, unleash your imagination. Who knows what amazing things you might create?
Absolutely. Well, this deep dive has been a fascinating journey into the world of LoRaCLR, exploring its inner workings, its creative potential, its impact on the art world. And I hope you found it as inspiring and thought-provoking as we have. And that's it for today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep diving deep into the ever-evolving world of AI and art.